RuneScape 3. The title invokes different thoughts in many, from nostalgia and happiness, to hatred and distaste, from misguided updates to beautiful landscapes, filled to the brim with content and stories, brought to life by many hardworking and dedicated individuals. I invite you to our journey through one of the most actively developed games in history. As an Iron Man, eager to explore every aspect of this beautiful game for themselves. Welcome to our RuneScape 3 Iron Man series. I'm happy to have you. Welcome back. We're already at the 8th episode now. If you've been following since episode 1, thank you for sticking with me. I really do appreciate it. If this is the first episode you've seen, this is going to be a bit of a different format than I usually do. My videos are normally fairly raw, and I'm trying to figure out how to shorten them without listening the content. The result is that a lot of these early episodes will definitely be fairly experimental. I'm hoping that by the time we unlock Convention, I'll be able to have a formula that works out. If you enjoy what you see, I encourage you to look back to episode 1 or 2 and see how we got to where we are today. Be warned that the earlier episode's audio is a bit off due to me being inexperienced with all of this. Our major goal currently is to unlock the invention skill from an early stage in our account, while exploring as much content as we can possibly absorb. As soon as we finished editing last episode, we stopped AFK mining. We ended up in my personal favorite agility course, the Watchtower Trellis. Apparently someone figured out that you could just climb up the trellis and down the ladder, and that was the fastest method of training agility until 30, which is really funny to me. We also had a metamorphic geode to open, which has a chance to contain an onyx. We got 259 corrupted ore from that, which can only be used in Prifdinus, so it's not useful to us at the moment, but is still some nice banked smithing experience. A minor goal for this episode was actually to complete some of the yak track tiers, as we only have a couple of weeks left to get the cosmetics from that. We ended up doing a bit of Slayer, dungeoneering, and fletching while dungeoneering, ending up at 30 defense, which allowed us to buy Batwing armor from Zaf. We finished up the Slayer yak track and decided that we'll do the cooking yak track next. While working towards the cooking yak track, we ended up in Anachronia to check on our resources and built a tier 2 town hall. After a successful farming trip, we managed to get 43 farming, which opened up the Rum Deal quest, as well as unlocking the Anachronia branch of the player-owned farms, which we have yet to check out. Using our buff to dunk memories for divination after a cache, we hit 75 divination, which is our second 75 now. That is a requirement for Fate of the Gods, which is a very big quest that rewards an absolute ton of experience. Once we get to 78 divination, we'll actually have access to Signs of Life, which will allow us to quote-unquote die and be revived with 25% of our health, which will surely help us maintain our hardcore Iron Man status. Hopefully. We've been using the Superior Jack of Trades aura we bought with loyalty on Herblore, and are leveling at a steady pace, reaching level 42 in this clip. We got tired of running to the bank with our trout and salmon for cooking, and decided to make some porters. First we had to make some emerald necklaces from emerald and gold, then use energy to create the porters. If you don't know, porters are an item you can put in your pocket slot, and then while gathering items they will send a certain amount of that item straight to the bank for you, which is incredibly useful. We continued on our yak track journey and ended up at the smelting task. We mined and smelting 900 necronium bars. We hit 80 mining during this grind, which was our first skill to hit level 80 on this account. I can't wait to get 80 divination, smithing, and crafting like we actually want though. I'm really excited to unlock Invention. There are definitely many amazing things within this skill, from quality of life to just interesting gadgets and things. This level was also a requirement for Birthright of the Dwarves, which I feel I've done before, but I'm looking forward to experiencing again nonetheless. We found a few metamorphic geodes while mining, opening them and finding some ingots used to craft masterwork armor, which I'm not really sure what it is yet, but more importantly, we actually managed to get an onyx. Here's my reaction to that. Oh, uncut onyx. Holy sh**. Oh, I have no idea how I would have gotten that otherwise. Wow, okay. I don't know what the bar is. Onyx, so that's pretty hyped. Okay, wow. We chopped teaks for the yak track, obtaining interesting logs called special teak logs that apparently let us do an inventory of planks for free, which was really nice because we were very poor and it would have cost us, I think, 5,000 GP per trip otherwise. We had some daily challenges almost expiring, so we decided to finally do the construction challenge. We finally bought our house at 60 construction, hit 40 magic for the home teleport skill, built our chapel, quest trophy room, and workshop for making flat packs. We swapped our house to Polivniak for a convenient teleport there, which puts us close to the Slayer Master, which also has the Smoke and Kills quest which we need to do eventually. Finally working towards our challenge, we made furniture for the first time, even though we're level 60 construction due to that cracker. The challenge actually only gave us 499 experience, so we figured out that maybe the challenges count your level from when you obtained them and not what level you are when you complete them. With our newfound knowledge about dailies, we decided to clear some, since a lot of them are old and from when our levels were a lot lower. We did another Jack of Trades Herblore run as well as finished our Herblore / Prayer daily and ended up with 44 Herblore and 29 Prayer. Now that we have 40 magic from our home teleport grind, we found that there's actually split bark weapons now. So we bought some material from Zaf and headed to the Wizard's Tower to get them crafted for us. Getting these crafted means we now have our first set of tier 40 weapons that we can genuinely actually use. We then fell down a rabbit hole of questing, which may surprise you if you have watched these episodes from the beginning. We did Goblin Diplomacy, a very short quest where you help 2 goblin generals decide which color of armor they should wear. Moving on, we did the Lost Tribe quest, which introduces us to the cave goblin race, the Dorgeshan. While investigating the cave goblins, we reveal the Duke's advisor, Sigmund, as a very ignorant and aggressive man, eventually resulting in Sigmund being fired and the Duke of Lumbridge signing a peace treaty with the goblins below. Continuing on to the second quest in the Dorgeshan series, Death to the Dorgeshan, we return to the caves below where the goblins reside and are tasked with showing one of their members around Lumbridge, Zanuck. Throughout our tour, we learned that Zanuck is deemed special by the Tears of Guthix protected by Juna, the Guardian of Guthix, below the Lumbridge Swamp. We eventually uncover a plot by Sigmund to destroy the cave goblins and stop it with the help of Zanuck, but not before she is killed and actually resurrected by the Tears of Guthix. Completing these few quests allowed us to access the Dorgeshan city, Dorgeshkhan, which is where we intended to complete our current yak track, which consisted of pickpocketing cave goblins. After finishing though, we found out that we can just do Master Farmer since we got a few levels in thieving from getting the ham sets required for Death to the Dorgeshan. We moved on to doing Master Farmers, finding out that it was incredibly slow due to the failure rate of having low thieving. We decided to train thieving, but in order to use the door method within the Thieves Guild fully, we need a lockpick, which in order to obtain one in a timely manner, we needed to do capers for the Thieves Guild. We did Master Farmers until 42 thieving, and then moved to doing capers. Darren tasked us with stealing a toy ruby dragon that he had commissioned from the artist he commissioned it from, so that he wouldn't have to pay for it. He then tasked us with finding fragments of a magician who accidentally turned herself into pure crystal fire and exploded, theorizing that people around RuneScape probably picked them up. Following his theory, we set out to acquire them by theft. Returning with the fragments, we finally expand the Thieves Guild enough to have a store within. We buy a lockpick from the store and get to work on training thieving through the world-hopping door-picking method we did in previous episodes. We get kind of lost in trading thieving and end up at 62 thieving, hoping we could try out some safecracking. Looking into safecracking further, we find out that we need 40 agility and 46 herb lore to start the quest. We decide to head to the Tree Gnome stronghold to grab the Eagle's Peak lodestone and do the quest called the Grand Tree, uncovering a plot by one of the Gnome King's most trusted guards to destroy the human race and take over Gielinor. We corner Gluff, the antagonist in all of this, but he summons a demon and disappears within the walls. Having revealed Gluff's plans to the king, he rewards us with 20,000 agility experience, 18,000 combat experience, and 2,500 magic experience. We put the combat experience into strength because we didn't know what else to put it in, and we often don't make very informed decisions. We then head out with our newfound agility level of 32. Next up, we check out our playroom farm and end up being able to build a large pen. To make the large pen, we need mahogany logs, which means we had to do the short quest called Jungle Potion in order to get access to the hardwood grove within the Taiborwane village. Finishing the short quest of gathering herbs, we sell red topaz to the vendor Kabuti for trading sticks, granting us access to the hardwood grove and obtaining our mahogany logs. We turn the logs to plank and build our large pen, meanwhile hitting 50 farming from beehives. We decide to do some herby werby, and while traveling, randomly obtain the item called Essential Oils, which is used to upgrade the Anachronia Spa to level 3, and is a 1 in 1800 drop rate from using any obstacle on the island, which is pretty nice to get without having to grind for it. We continue on doing the Anachronia 30 course, just walking back and forth, and eventually get 39 agility, which puts us at 1200 total level. Hitting 40 agility, we decide to do the quest, the Feud, because it's required to at least start that quest to do the level 62 Caper to unlock safecracking. Doing the quest, we are tasked by the best salesman in the world, Ali Morrisane, to find his lost nephew in the town of Polivniak, eventually finding out that it was just a ruse to get us to buy stuff from him and the members of Polivniak. Ali calls it tourism. We finished the feud and moved on to completing our original goal, doing the level 62 Caper to unlock safecracking, where we are tasked to register the Thieves Guild as an official guild by Darren. We perform a solo heist, stealing bonds from the guild's own vault, and using them to pay for our registration. The Thieves Guild, now being an official guild, gets a major upgrade, and now has a bank and a reward shop for safecracking. Checking out safecracking, we find it is a very fun and rewarding method of training thieving. I'm definitely looking forward to doing it more, as it finally made us not so poor, leaving us at 69 thieving and 714,000 gold after barely an hour. And that leaves us to where we are now. If you enjoyed the episode, please like the video, subscribe if you'd like to see more, and hit the notification bell if you'd like to be notified of my uploads. I really appreciate you watching, and I do hope to see you in the next one. See ya.